You're tuned in to Inside Lowell. Inside Lowell podcast brought to you in part by Washington Savings Bank, serving the greater Lowell community for over 130 years. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. Unicare, offering a variety of plans for people insured under the GIC. At Unicare, your health is their top priority. Reverie 73, Lowell's #1 cannabis shop. Elevate your cannabis experience at Reverie 73. Hafner's, heating and cooling homes and businesses for nearly a century. Become a part of the Hafner's family. It kicks. Boston North Company, offering a wide variety of business solutions to help restaurant and retail clients save money. Boston North. And by Mahoney Oil Company, providing warmth and protection to families in Greater Lowell and Southern New Hampshire since 1925. That's Mahoney Oil. And now, time for another Inside Lowell podcast. Inside Lowell. If Lowell is your home, this is your place.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another Inside Lowell podcast. I am your host, Teddy Panos, coming to you from our Inside Lowell studios here in beautiful, historic downtown Lowell. It's a beautiful day out there weather-wise. Thursday, October 12th, if I have the right date, is the day we are recording this. But when you're watching it or listening to it, really up to you, as we like to say here at Inside Lowell. We provide news, information, and sometimes entertainment on your schedule, not ours. So thank you for joining us, and thank you to all of our sponsors for making this podcast possible, all of our Inside Lowell podcasts possible, and of course, all of Inside Lowell. And with that, I'd like to welcome in my guests for this morning's podcast. They are the brains behind an organization that's done an awful lot of good for entrepreneurs in our communities, well, across the country, but it all started right here in Lowell, Massachusetts, and Lawrence. And I'm really excited to welcome them in. Sophan Smith, the Executive Director of EforAll, is joining us. Good morning, Sophan. How are you?
Good morning. I am fantastic, especially I'm sitting here across from you, you know?
Every day has to have some challenge, right? So,
a challenge or a blessing, my friend.
There you go. I like the way you look at it. Soumita Acharya is joining us as well. Hello. She is to the left of your screen. Soumita, you are the Development and Engagement Associate for EforAll.
Yes.
Great to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're not a stranger to these studios, by the way. You've done some videos for us, and you've done an awful lot of consulting on some of our technical aspects. So thank you for being a part. We need more from you, by the way, okay?
Always.
I know you don't have enough on your plate.
I was going to say, not too much. She is working full time now. You know?
We'll use her on weekends in her office. Sleep is very overrated, as all
I agree.
In this room know. So before we talk about, you've got a big event, a kind of a 10-year celebration coming up, and kind of a nice, what do you call it, like an E-Mall event?
Yeah, so basically it's the EforAll Mall that is scheduled for Saturday, November 4th, so just in a couple of weeks. And basically this event is going to really celebrate EforAll's existence in 10 years, but primarily more so to celebrate the entrepreneurs that have come through our doors, that have gone through our Business Accelerator program, that have started their businesses here in Lowell, Lawrence, and overall the Merrimack Valley community. So think of it as this, right? A pop-up market, but just EforAll entrepreneurs. And what do we stress about during the holidays? One of the reasons that we stress.
Yeah, well, what are you going to buy everybody, right? That's the big drama.
Gifts, right? Gifts are always definitely like at the top of the list besides hosting and so forth. Well, let's make it easy. You know, you come to the EforAll Mall. It'll be open again from 1 to 5 p.m. You come in, there'll be all these EforAll Eparateros alums tabling. You grab a bag and you go around and you get to shop from all the tables. And now you can take care of all your holiday gifts, but also supporting your local entrepreneurs as well.
All right. I love it. We'll talk a little bit about what type of businesses will be there for that. But for those who might be hearing the words EforAll for the first time, what is EforAll? What exactly is it that you ladies do?
Yeah. Okay. Well, EforAll essentially is an entrepreneurship organization, and what we do is we help entrepreneurs launch their business or nonprofit. We don't discriminate. We work with everyone. And we've been around for a while. So if I may, can I take you back to maybe the beginning of EforAll?
Please do.
All right. So for the historians of Lowell, they'll love this. So EforAll started in 2010 as the Merrimack Valley Sandbox. And the initial capital was provided through the Deshpande Foundation. And the vision was to create an organization that would support entrepreneurs through various programming and services. And in 2012, we launched our very first Business Accelerator program. And that's what we're known for. The Business Accelerator program is a one-year program that teaches the entrepreneur, again, from A to Z, how to launch their business. And then in 2014, we officially changed our name from the Merrimack Valley Sandbox to Entrepreneurship for All, known as EforAll. And then in that same year, we launched our very first Spanish-speaking program, Para Todos, to address the needs of our Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs. And we launched that site in Lawrence. So EforAll began right here in Lowell and Lawrence, Massachusetts.
And where is your service area? We like to think the world revolves around Lowell, and it does, especially for this podcast.
Absolutely.
You mentioned Lawrence. Where else do you reach?
Yeah. So we have really been growing a lot in the last 5 to 7 years. So in Massachusetts alone, we have an EforAll site in 8 cities across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. EforAll Merrimack Valley, we cover 3 primary cities, Lowell, Lawrence, and Haverhill. But outside of Massachusetts, you can find an EforAll in Colorado, Arkansas, Rhode Island, Maine, and now South Carolina. So we're now a national organization.
Yeah, you certainly are. That's quite the reach, going as far west as Colorado. And California is not a long jump from there. So
yeah, well, we're also
you've got to get there.
now we're also launching our virtual programs as well, which will be focused in California and Texas.
So it's funny, I remember the birth of it. I was doing my radio interviews back then, and just kind of to see how much it's grown. You said 400 alums.
From our site.
Just from the Lowell area, right?
Just from Merrimack Valley. Yes. So 400 alums have taken advantage of our Business Accelerator program. So not only, I would say, like, businesses, but also nonprofits as well. So we work with both. So for example, if you're in downtown Lowell, you go to the Purple Carrot Bread Company. They're an EforAll alum. If you've ever taken a little salsa class at Panella, they're an EforAll alum. So besides the food or the restaurant industry, many businesses that we work with are services, tech, retail as well, and then some of the nonprofits around this area that you might know about. The Low Litter Crew, they came from EforAll. Katie's Closet came from EforAll. So,
so you've got a pretty good little resume and references back there. How long have you been with EforAll?
This would be my second month.
Your second month. And what was the attraction for you? Because I've known you for years now, and the one word you use more often than anything, and that includes and, the, and a, is community. Every other word out of your mouth is community. So it's not surprising to me that you ended up working with Sophan.
I am to be honest, I'm very blessed and honored to get this opportunity. My background is in public access or media, but for me, it's community building. I always believe that you take care of a place you live, no matter where. Simple. It's so. When I was looking for a job and being a mission-driven person and coming from nonprofit background, this was all I could think of, because you are in a place where you're in a room where there are dreamers and they are not giving up on their dreams. How best, what other situation you can be. And the best part of this job is you have entrepreneurs and you have mentors. And it's a complete volunteering-based organization. It's a nonprofit. But we all have dreams. Look around us, the whole city of Lowell. How many communities in and around speak 72 languages? And the dreams they have, the opportunities. But the best part of EforAll is it's generating circular, sustainable economy. People with a dream and creating that support. Whenever we want to start a business, our family's like, you're crazy. You want to run a business? They give up on you like the first thing. But now there is a platform who holds your hand and say, hey, don't give up. We got you. And I can't be happier. And I'm learning. I'm very blessed to have an amazing boss and an amazing team and people that we know are passionate to support this journey.
And this isn't a big leap for you, because one of the things you did when you came from Lowell Telecommunications is during the height of the COVID pandemic, you actually went around and produced short videos in conjunction with our friend Danielle over at the Chamber of Commerce to get people to shop local and to a chance for these small businesses to get the word out about what they do. So kind of a natural marriage here between the two of you, right?
Well, I did the proposal, and so I quoted her. Here's what happened. So I've known Soumita for a couple of years now through mutual friends, and what happened was a couple of months ago, I'm out in the community and so forth, and I had this position in mind. I kept thinking about, like, who do I want for this role and so forth. And I run into Soumita, and as I'm talking to her, I'm like, oh my gosh, light bulb. I'm like, she would be such a good fit. She's personable. She understands nonprofit. She's so passionate, right? Who better to work with than someone who appreciates the local entrepreneurs, a small business, who appreciates the community. So it was just a natural fit. And so I proposed to her and I said, what do you think of this opportunity? Let me know. And she accepted my proposal.
Awesome. And the rest is history.
The biggest thing was to impress the national team. Interviews.
You have no problem doing that, which is why it's so funny that you were nervous talking.
It's like I'm behind the camera all the time.
podcast.
I'm interviewing people.
Right.
It's very rare I'm on this spot.
So let's talk. You've talked a little bit about what you do, but let's kind of get into the specifics, right? So let's say a small business person comes to you and says, I have an idea for name the product, name the service.
Sure.
How do you begin the process of helping that person?
All right. So let's say I meet someone named Ted. And Ted says, Sophan, I have this idea for a podcast in the city of Lowell. I really want to be able to highlight, showcase all the amazing people, businesses, events, and opportunities that are around Lowell, because I love Lowell. And I get it. I'm a Lowellian, right? Born in Cambodia, but raised entirely in the city of Lowell. So I say, all right, Ted, why don't you come to our community pitch contest and pitch your business idea? At this pitch contest, there'll be a panel of judges to hear your business idea, but the community will be there as well. So the pitch contest will give you an opportunity to flush out your idea, get some feedback, and potentially win prize money as well. First place comes in at $1,000. So you go to our pitch contest, you take home a first place of $1,000. Great. You can use that $1,000 towards your business. You need to buy now equipment, lighting, microphones, and so forth, right? So now, as you're doing more of the research, you're like, okay, I'm ready to launch this business, but I'm not sure how. I Google how to launch a business, and it took me down a rabbit hole. This is confusing, right? You're like, for 3 days, I've been down Google, and I have no idea where to start.
Where to go.
Perfect. So I say, all right, Ted, why don't you apply for our Business Accelerator program? Our Business Accelerator program is a 1-year program designed to help you launch your business. And here's how. Think of it as 4 quarters as part of this 1-year program. In the first quarter, you're going to take 12 weeks of curriculum with EforAll. And in this curriculum, we're going to teach you everything. Think of it as a crash course of a mini tailored MBA program. We are going to go over the customer segments. We use the business model canvas. We're going to talk about the customer segments so you understand exactly who is your audience. And then we'll get into the nitty gritty of the business aspect. We're going to talk numbers, projections. We're going to talk about the legal aspects of owning a business, the insurance you might need. And then we finish off that curriculum by talking about how to make your business viable, how to market, how to present, and then your social impact. Right? So 3 months of a curriculum. And while you're in this curriculum, you also get a team of mentors. Yes. You know why? Because entrepreneurship can be so lonely and it's very challenging. And so while you're taking classes with us, doing the work, you're meeting with your team of mentors, and they will help reaffirm the topics you learn. They're going to challenge you on some things, and also, just answer any questions that you might have along the way. So then, after the 3 months of curriculum, we celebrated through what is known as the showcase and celebration. But it doesn't stop there. After that, we have 3 quarterly meetings that we check in on your progress and your goals. So the design of the program is that at the end of the 1 year, you should now be armed and ready with the tools, the knowledge, resources, and the guidance to now launch your business. So now you have InsideLowell.
So you just made me, those last 5 minutes, you made me feel like the biggest idiot in the world because I embarked on this by myself. I could have had an ally there to hold my hand every step of the way. But all kidding aside, so I'm fortunate. I grew up in a family business. I actually, my undergrad major was business management. I'd worked in media for 30 years. So the example you gave of my business, I was fortunate enough to kind of be able to do it on my own. Would have been nice to have a little help along the way. But, for a lot of people, they don't have that. And it almost sounds like, you can save an awful lot of money on a 4-year business degree or a 2-year associate's degree by just kind of signing up for you guys. Is there a cost to this?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked that question.
I don't want to put UMass Lowell and Middlesex out of business because they have their role.
Yes.
But it sounds like a nice little way for somebody without the financial resources to not pile up $100,000 worth of debt and still get, as you said, an MBA training.
And the support.
I've actually had entrepreneurs that told me after they complete our program, they decide they want to go back to school, and some are pursuing their business degree, business management. And they said literally the classes they're taking are this basically the same material or the same type of teachings that they've learned at EforAll. And our curriculum has been designed, with a lot of care and a lot of thought into it. And we also evaluate our programming year after year to make sure that we're up to date and that our content is fresh and so forth. But so the costs, I'm glad you asked that. All right, here's the best part. We are a 501c3, known as a nonprofit organization. So that means we work very hard every single day to make sure that all of our programs and services cost absolutely nothing to the entrepreneurs. $0. Nada. No dinero.
That's a price tag even I can afford and appreciate.
If anything, we actually give away money. Yes. So as part of the community pitch contest and the business accelerator program, there's prize money. So with the pitch contest, first place is $1,000. Second place is $750. Third place is $500. And then we have this thing called fan favorite, where the audience vote for their favorite entrepreneur that pitched. That's another $500. Right? For our Business Accelerator program, it's a cohort learning model. So we bring up to 15 entrepreneurs for each cohort, and we award up to $20,000 for each cohort.
Wow, that's quite that seed money.
Yes,
is vital. So who's the typical person who comes to you? You mentioned you have 400 alum. Are we talking about young people just kind of starting out, maybe just finished school? Are we talking about people kind of in their middle ages who, for whatever reason, decided to switch career paths? Who are you helping? Who should I say have you helped already in those 400?
Sure. So EforAll was really designed to work and provide resources to underrepresented communities, those that might not have the resources or the knowledge to start their own business. And so to give you an idea of who we serve, 84% of our entrepreneurs are women-owned. 69% are BIPOC owned, and that is Black, Indigenous, people of color. And 31% are immigrant owned. So again, that's just a little bit of the demographics in terms of the people in the communities that we serve. And so really you do have to be 18 and up in order to be a part of any of our programming. But we have worked with young entrepreneurs to all the way up. One year I had the opportunity to work with these amazing 4 young ladies from UMass Lowell. They were still pursuing their undergrad when they decided to take on the Business Accelerator program. And their business was to create prosthetic hands for children that are born with deformities, but the prosthetic hands would grow with them because it's very expensive to buy, prosthetic hands and so forth every single year. And so this was designed to grow with them, to lessen the cost for families that are not always able to afford it.
What a brilliant idea.
Amazing, right?
Do those numbers you gave of the people and the communities you're serving, do they stretch out on your national organizations? Well, it's kind of easy in Lowell to find minority business people with dreams, right? Because we're the whole city basically is, a city of immigrants. Are you finding that in Arkansas? Are you finding that in Colorado as well?
Well, see, that's the beauty, is that when an EforAll site opens up in different communities, the national team, the headquarters, because our organization is led by our CEO, Morales Hood, and then each EforAll site is managed and run by an executive director. I happen to have Lowell, yay. And so the communities that we start up in newer cities, we target communities or cities that represents the people we serve, right? So these would be underrepresented communities. This would be communities that has low to moderate income, right? It is a lot more minorities or even immigrants and so forth.
So what's the biggest challenge that these people are facing when they first come to you? What's the biggest hurdle you have to clear in terms of getting them to a successful business model?
Ooh, that's a good question. What's the biggest challenge? So it's interesting. It's like a two-part. I can answer that questions in two ways, because so at EforAll at Para Todos, Merrimack Valley, we run our program in both English and in Spanish. And so there are some different challenges for our Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs versus our English language program. But across the board, I would say for most entrepreneurs, right, what they have challenge with is access to capital. So finding the right lenders, being able to qualify for loans and so forth, understanding the loans. And most of our entrepreneurs don't necessarily apply for traditional bank loans because they're entrepreneurs and not small business owners. A small business owner, as defined by the SBA, the Small Business Administration, you can have up to like 500 employees, right? Our entrepreneurs are micro businesses. These are more so the mom and pop shop. This is the person who is the CEO, CFO, customer service rep. They wear
Everybody all in.
Exactly. And so I always like to point that out, that we work with entrepreneurs and not necessarily small business, right? And so the challenge would be, besides access to capital, but in terms of what could prevent a person from completing the EforAll Accelerator program, would be the fact that it's life. So many of our entrepreneurs are working full time. They're parents. They might be struggling to even pay their rent at times. We know that cost of living is extremely expensive. It could be personal challenges. They could be caring for an elderly family member. And so when you have all of that on your plate, and now you have to dedicate 8 to 12 hours a week for 3 months, right? That can be a challenge. But we do have a high completion rate. So about 90% of our entrepreneurs complete the program. And that's because, again, we designed it in a way where there's a lot of support provided, not just from the EforAll staff. We're always there for them, but the mentors, the content specialists, and so forth.
Yeah, who are these folks who kind of come in and help you do the mentoring? You mentioned, what are you, about 100 volunteers throughout the course of the year involved in this program?
Absolutely, yeah. So we just changed the ratio of mentors to entrepreneurs. So traditionally, for each entrepreneur in that Spanish language program, you would have 2 mentors. For the English language program, it would be 3 mentors. So if you do the math, right, and we run 4 cohorts a year, 2 during the winter and 2 during the summer, right, because we are a bilingual program. So if you do the math, right, and if you bring on about 60 entrepreneurs in total, it's about 145 mentors we work with a year. And so, but now moving forward, we are going to create, we're having a new model. So now it's going to be just 2 mentors for each entrepreneur, which still works. So who are our mentors? That's such a great question. Our mentors are diverse professionals from the area. It can range from someone being a small business owner. You don't have to be. a business owner to be a mentor. I just want to point that out. It could be a small business owner. It could be an executive director from the nonprofit industry. It could be C-level executives that have retired but don't necessarily want to retire fully and want to give back. It could be someone from the Chamber of Commerce. Really, it's anyone who understands our mission at EforAll, believes in our mission, which is to accelerate economic and social impact nationwide through inclusive entrepreneurship. And it's someone who wants to be a part of that impact and really just help guide our entrepreneurs while they're in the program.
And the mission is so important because, we're such a politically divided country nowadays. But, the one thing I think everybody needs to understand is that the easiest way, the quickest way to close any wage gaps, any wage disparities or income disparities is through home ownership and business ownership. That's the fastest path. That's why you see so many immigrant groups, striving to open their own restaurant. That's why my parents did what they did. And I'm sure you've seen it in your families. So to be able to get that help, but the challenges you point out, like I think, oh man, if my father and his brothers had something like that around in 1974, it would have been so much easier than the trial and error they had to undergo. How do people support? Say somebody is listening to this and said, I'd love to help out and be a mentor and give back, because you probably need people from every walk of life, right?
Absolutely.
To give me help with my broadcast idea versus somebody's restaurant idea versus somebody's invention of prosthetics. You need people who have some knowledge in those fields, right?
Absolutely. So before I address that question, let me also just point out, the part that you mentioned about how something like this could have helped your family and so forth with the support. And again, our entrepreneurs deal with this thing called life, and there are challenges, right? And so we do recognize that. And while we can't address every single need of our entrepreneur, EforAll at Baratolos Merrimack Valley, because we've been around for so long, and because Lowell is such a fantastic city for working with one another, supporting each other, we do partner up with many other organizations and partners to support the entrepreneur. So, for example, we do work with the Entrepreneurship Center by CTI. They provide a lot more TA or technical assistance. They have first-time home buyers program and so forth. And so if our entrepreneur comes to us and say, I'm really struggling right now, and here's why, I need help in such and such, we will certainly let them know about other resources for sure. So, so that's the one thing I love about being in the city of Lowell, is that we work so well with one another. We're here to support the community, because if you can help just one person, one family become financially stable and have a comfortable home to live in, right? Think about the impacts. How it trickles down. If you're able to support your family, your kids are well taken care of, you're happy, you're healthy, it just makes for a better community, right? That's what we want. So in terms of supporters, we are extremely fortunate that we have some amazing supporters who understands our work, who has been with us. So the Deshpande Foundation provided the initial capital to start what was then known as the Merrimack Valley Sandbox, that is now EforAll. But we have supporters from different, I would say, areas. So we are supported through government grants, for sure. We are supported by corporate sponsorships, private foundations, and individuals. Many folks from the city, from the area does give to us, and we appreciate that, because with every dollar that comes through the door at EforAll at Baratolos Merrimack Valley, it helps us keep our doors open, and it helps us to keep all of our programs and services at no cost to the entrepreneurs. So, for example, some of our top supporters would be, just from the area alone, the Theodore Edson Parker Foundation has supported us, Enterprise Bank, Jampard Charitable Trust, Filene's Foundation, Mass Growth Capital Corporation, known as MGCC, Essex County Community Foundation, Santander, Bank of America. I mean, the list goes on. So, but it's a combination of, private, public, and individuals that support us.
It's fantastic. So you mentioned a couple of the recognizable companies that have been founded or have begun with your program, Panella, Purple Carrot. What are some of the others? Are there any others that folks might recognize? And I'm really curious what happened to those 4 UMass Lowell students whose idea about the prosthetic hand that kind of grows with them. Where are they today?
So I'm actually going to be connected with them soon so I can have an update. But let's see, some other business that folks might recognize, Tomo 360.
Aha, my friend Susu.
Susu Wong. Susu was part of one of the very first classes. She finished the program in 2014. Let's see, Studio 26, Anthony Naga.
Yeah. Then Henry Mate, our multimedia. Yes. Kelsey.
Kelsey,
Yes.
Cooking with
Cooking
Kelsey.
with Kelsey.
Let's see, she provides she teaches folks how to cook and kids. Let's see, who are some other folks in the area? So we mentioned the Low Litter Crew.
Yes.
My gosh, I can literally have a list for you. But when you come to the EforAll Mall event on November 4th, you'll get to see many of our alums that have started their business.
Perfect transition. So we started talking about it, EforAll Mall. Let's finish talking about it. Saturday, November 4th.
Yes.
What time till what time?
So 1 to 5 p.m. And it's going to be hosted at UTech right here in downtown Lowell. And it's going to be so exciting because this is a first-time event for EforAll. We've never done anything like this. We're not known for these kinds of events. We're known for our pitch contest, our Business Accelerator program with our showcase and celebration. We don't do galas. We don't do any of that, even though if anyone gave me an opportunity to host a gala, my friend, ball gown would be ready.
You're the executive director. You create your own gala. I mean, come on. You've been to so many. You need to go to your own.
True. It'll just be the perfect excuse for me to buy a new dress. Don't encourage me, please. So I want you to picture on this Saturday when you come to UTech, you walk in. There'll be a DJ spinning some top 40 music. We need to create a nice vibe. Let's de-stress. Let's take the stress away from the holidays, right? You walk in, there's going to be music playing. There'll be tables and tables of entrepreneurs showcasing their business where you can shop from. So you'll have people there that run jewelry businesses. For example, I'm thinking of Gratinsta. So it's nature-inspired jewelry, and a percentage of her proceeds goes to planting trees to help the environment. There would be hair care products such as Serena's Secrets. I buy all of her serums for my son's curly hair. There could be food vendors there that, provide baked goods, so you can order from them. Why make the cake when you can have someone else make it for you?
Of course.
It'll be perfect, right?
Yeah.
There'll be folks there that has retail, clothing, and so forth. Right, so all of that will be at this EforAll Mall event. It's family friendly, so you can bring your kids. And we're going to create a vibe where you can network as well. There'll be tables to sit down. There'll be some refreshments, but that's it. So it's just a shopping experience for the local entrepreneurs in the local community to get together and have some fun.
I love it. And you said you're going to have about 30?
We will have about 30 vendor tables.
All right. And how can people find out more about this specific shopping event, but more importantly, find out more about EforAll, what you do, how they can sign up, participate in the programs, and also how they can volunteer and help? How do they do so?
Absolutely. Good question. So they can simply go to eforall.org. And that's where you can find all of our volunteer opportunities and our Business Accelerator application deadline. The next accelerator that will be starting up will start in January 2024, which is insane that we're even talking about 2024. I'm like, I am not ready for this yet, right? But the application
2.5 months away.
I know. And already it's going to be Happy New Year. But that one, the deadline for it is October 26th. And but we have some other events coming up if folks want to join. So next Thursday, October 19th, we will host our showcase and celebration event at the Overlook at Mill Number 5 on the 5th floor. It's open to the community. That's where you can come see our entrepreneurs that are finishing up this program. On Thursday, October 26th, we'll celebrate showcase for our Para Todos Spanish-speaking program. And that will be hosted at Northern Essex Community College in Lawrence. But head over to our website, EforAll.org, for all volunteer opportunities. And they can also follow our social media pages for all of the up-to-date events.
Absolutely.
And it's EforAll_Merrimack Valley, I believe, at Facebook and Instagram.
All right. And you better follow them, because I know now with this young lady by your side, you're going to have some of the best videos and production around for all your photos and videos.
She's going to give you the best lighting. She's gonna turn Sophan into either Beyonce or Jennifer Lopez.
She's our
something
queen.
She's going to turn Beyonce and Jennifer Lopez into Sophan.
I like you, my friend. I like you.
Remember, it starts here in Lowell.
That's right.
Sophan Smith, Soumita, Acharya, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for the work you're doing and the help you're providing to people in our community. It's a very important task you're doing.
Yes, thank you for having us here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, and thank all of you for joining us as well here for our latest Inside Lowell podcast. Inside Lowell, as we like to say, if Lowell is your home, if Inside Lowell is your home, if Lowell is your home, this is your place. Till next time, stay safe, everybody.